down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
The shots aren't dropping yet. They've missed 4 of their first 5 shots.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Three-pointer, Butler. From deep three-point range. Kept alive by Boston. Another shot. Shot by Crowder, no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And here's Rose outside. Here's Gasol. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
Yeah, GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play. And, you know, for the Celtics, the actual playoff series didn't go well. They got swept by the Cavaliers, but most people will remember the injuries from the series more than the play. And the Celtics have a bright future, no doubt.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Well, listen, it was a forgettable series for Celtics fans. However, the Celtics' young core were able to experience postseason basketball. That's something that you can really never replicate. I'm sure they'll be hungry for more of it, and credit Brad Stevens on a terrific job.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Celtics also with a sub. Smart's checked in.
Don't you love the chemistry? Those guys work so well together in the open floor. The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Brooks from outside. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field.
Stupendous. I love that word. Save that one. The word and the jam. I want to see it again.
Just beautiful.
That's one of those alley-oops upside your head right there.
Dishes it to Mirotic. And it's going to be a 3-second call. There's 42 seconds left to play in the first. Bradley passes to Smart. And again, it's Boston converting.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions. You know, even against defense as tight as that, you expect him to bury those.
Yeah, I don't know, though, Clark. That defender was on him like glue on that possession. That would have been a heck of a bucket, even though we've seen him hit those in the past.
To end the run. And Noah with the slam.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch. You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. It's the Celtics. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, we've seen the Celtics really take control here.
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
We've got Mirotic. He's out there with Jimmy Butler. Brooks out there with Portis. And it's Holiday in the shooting guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process. I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers. And with the Celtics being a surprise threat near the end of last season, even their losses were close games.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two.
To back up your point about the Celtics being in close games, I mean, their point differential on the year was less than where you would expect it to be for a team that made the playoffs. I mean, it really gives you an idea of how many close games they played.
Pau Gasol is checked in for Chicago. Rose comes in for Brooks. Celtics leading by 16. Now here's Smart. He's covered by Rose. Butler with the steal. Gasol dishes to Holiday. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Portis, and Dunleavy subbed in for Justin Holiday.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
And Thomas, here we go. And Smart with the basket on the assist by Thomas. Thomas got 3 assists in the game.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Olynyk. Crowder comes in for Urebko. And Bradley subbed in for Isaiah Thomas.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clarkey came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Right side, Butler. From 18 feet away. Butler missing again. Down low. Knocked away. It's stolen by Dunleavy. Offensive rebound. Here's Gasol. And they convert it last on attempt number 3. Gasol's got 6.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Boston also with the sub. Turner's checked in for Smart. Brooks kicks to McDermott. Mirotic the pass to Moore. There's the feed to McDermott. From deep. Sullinger with the rebound.
There's some good defense for you. I mean, for somebody who's as good at shooting the 3 as he is, you need a defender who's equally adept at guarding against it. That was well done.
I like that. They obviously put the right guy on him.
Johnson dishes to Crowder. And it's Turner off the drive. Now Bradley. He's got 6. Back to Johnson. Here's Turner. 1 second left. That'll do it for the first half. Celtics lead by 14. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Okay, fans.
Welcome back, everybody. Just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. One of the stories here, Marcus Smart getting it done today.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. One of the stories here, Marcus Smart getting it done today.
I just love the tenacity on the defensive side. I mean, his play on D has been a huge factor for them as he continues to get steal after steal.
And guys, as the game moves on, I think he should continue to be aggressive defensively to keep ball handlers off balance.
While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Boston. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jared Sullinger is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Turner in at the 3, the small forward. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And Gibson, here we go.